Sherpa for surface mines is a Windows-based application designed for pre-feasibility level cost estimates. It's a fairly detailed program that allows you to incorporate a lot of your own or all of your own project, site, and resource data into an engineering-based system that will provide an estimate of your capital and operating costs. You can of course work in either English or metric units. The program has 4 primary menus. We set it up this way so the user can easily find any screen that they're looking to work in. The first menu deals with the project design, the second with equipment selection, the third with development work, and the fourth are displayed on the results menu. The program uses an engineering-based approach to cost estimating as opposed to a statistical approach or a parametric approach. And by engineering-based, we mean that the program uses the same engineering calculations that anyone would use when they were estimating the cost of a mine from a ground-up level, and that it calculates cycle times based on haul distances, calculates powder factors, uses the same drilling, blasting, pumping, road construction calculations that you would find in any engineering manual. Clients use the program for a variety of reasons, from quick estimates based on very little data to fully blown estimates where the user will know almost every important aspect, engineering parameter of their project. The screens are mostly laid out as the one you see in front of you. There are 2 or 3 different types of entry. One is simply where you type in numbers. There's entry where you're given a selection, and generally a screen will come up to where you can select from options provided by the program. Projects can be divided into 6 different production segments, so you can look at the costs at various points during the project. And the program generally will ask you to leave some time prior to production for the expenditures associated with building construction, infrastructure, pre-production stripping, clearing, equipment purchase. All of the pre-production costs will be then entered in that period of time. Let's do a quick estimate to demonstrate how the program can come up with numbers based on very little information. You can start by just the most basic project data. The program gives you an option to either optimize the equipment fleet. When the program is allowed to do that, it will take every reasonable combination of truck and loader for both the ore and waste and estimate all the costs associated with that combination, including all the ancillary costs, all the ancillary equipment that goes along with it, buildings, infrastructure, shops, pre-production development, every cost, and then it'll do iteration after iteration with various combinations of equipment to finally arrive at the lowest cost option. That is not to say the most profitable option, in that we're not doing a discounted cash flow on this with this particular program. It just gives you the cost over time. In this case, because we're trying to do a quick estimate, we'll choose optimize and let the computer program select our equipment for us. We'll put in a It is in essence a 4-to-1 stripping ratio. The program then suggests values for things like pit design, ore and waste characteristics, truck haul profile characteristics are based on this pit design. Let's come over here and we'll hit the optimize button, and the program has then gone through and done all the work of comparing the costs associated with every reasonable combination. And it says in this case that if we use 13-yard hydraulic shovels and 60-ton trucks for ore and 21-yard shovels and 85-ton trucks for the waste, that we will come up with the lowest cost option here. And you can see with just that minimal information, it will come up with a cost for you, $16.06 per ton over the life of the project. And the capital costs are listed here. Of course, most of our clients have considerably more information to work with. So then you start going in and changing items like the pit design. Again, this design is provided by the program simply based on the information we entered in the prior screen as far as our overall resource size and production rate. But of course, users will generally have better information to put in here, particularly for things like water production. One thing I'd like to point out is that the program is fully integrated, meaning if you change one thing, the program will make all the associated changes required and estimate the costs that are attributable to those changes. So for instance, we have the scenario we have a total project cost of $16.06 per ton. Let's just go right back here and look at the size of our worker change houses, about 6,500 square feet. If we were to go through and change our haul profile characteristics, let's say that the waste pile is actually closer, the haul to it is a little more level, and then we just have to haul uphill a short distance to the top of the dump to dispose of the waste. The program will go through automatically and recalculate everything associated with that change, and including down to the size of the worker change house. And if you noticed any of these other numbers, they would have changed as well. And of course, our total project cost summary reflects the changes associated with that alteration. But as I say, most users will want to go through and do some more significant changes, so they'll make sure that the physical characteristics of the ore and waste are fully representative of their project. You can see we have density, percent swell, powder factors, hole loading factors. It will of course change the haul profiles for the ore and waste. You can also adjust fill factors, availability factors. Let's skip down to some of the cost information. Most of this information is from InfoMine USA's mining cost service. It's in a fully contained binary database, so it is not available outside of the program. The program draws directly from it. The costs, of course, vary based on the type of supply costs vary based on the types of supplies selected, of course. But everything in here, everything suggested by the program, you can overwrite instantly to reflect information at your site. And every engineering calculation, every suggested value, every cost, every price in here, you can overwrite. The user can overwrite to reflect conditions at their site. Also, with every entry, there's a help screen which gives you some more information as to either adjustments you can make to the entry or to how the entries were calculated. Salaries are also presented based on information in mining cost service, and of course you can adjust any of those. Spend some time over here on the equipment. We use the optimize feature during our example there, but as with any other entry here, you can overwrite it. One thing a user might want to do is select the same truck size for ore as for waste, so you just go in and click there and you'll see that it changed the number of trucks required. It's already done the cycle time calculations. Cycle time calculations and equipment loader truck combination calculations in the program are fairly sophisticated in that they do account for items such as time spent in the queue, equipment matching. The program works quite hard to make sure that loaders aren't waiting too long for trucks, or trucks are not waiting too long for loaders, and adjust the fleet size accordingly to ensure that doesn't happen. There's a variety, of course, of machine sizes available for each type of machine. This is, again, I think a feature of the program that sets it apart from the statistical or parametric approaches that are often used in cost estimating. Again, wide variety of sizes. The ancillary fleet. The program will select bulldozers, graders, water tankers, service trucks, bulk trucks, lighting plants, pumps, and pickup trucks for you. You can adjust the purchase price of any of these machines. The program will carry that price through the calculations for you. The program estimates when machines need to be replaced based on use figures calculated in the program and life expectancies stated by manufacturers. Can adjust the number of overhauls between equipment replacement. And you'll see when we change that, the replacement period changes. Oops. You can either exclude or include these repurchases in the analysis. You can also adjust both the operating use and cost parameters for all the machines. Daily use is estimated based upon, of course, the cycle times we calculated earlier, the program calculated earlier, drilling rates, of course, are estimated by drill production or drill penetration rates. Diesel consumption is listed over here, and you can change those at any time. Those are based on the machine sizes that are each machine that the program considers has a separate database that has information like fuel consumption, plan size for designing the shop, of course tire size, tire life, part consumption rates, items like that. You can adjust diesel fuel, electricity. None of these machines are electric. Lubrication cost, which are stated in dollars per hour. Maintenance and repair parts costs, which are also in dollars per hour. Maintenance and repair labor, hours per hour of use. I'll tell you how many mechanics. The program uses these numbers to determine how many mechanics are required for the project. And then undercarriage costs and tire costs. Again, this information is out of mining cost service. Development costs, won't go through every one of these, but the program lets you adjust pre-production stripping parameters to meet conditions at your site. It gives you a cost per ton waste moved. Of course, adjust that if you adjust any of the parameters. Roads, it estimates all the road pre-production costs for roads. Building costs are based upon all the information collected and generated so far by the program. It gives you lengths, heights, and widths of the building, allows you to adjust the construction method. Let's see in this list. Allow you to adjust clearing requirements for your site. The surface area there in this case is based on the estimated pre-production stripping requirements and the sites of the buildings themselves. Estimates how many gallons of diesel you use per day, the project uses per day for both the ore mining equipment, the waste mining equipment, and the ancillary equipment. This is a fairly small project. The larger projects may use electrical machinery. As far as excavators go, and if you do so, the project comes up with an electrical distribution system. You can also generate electricity on site. The program will allow you to do that as well. The program then summarizes all the cost parameters and costs, unit costs for all the development work on this page, and you can still change everything at this stage, meaning that if you want less fencing, you can just go right in here and change the number, and it will carry through the calculations for you. Gives you a size of your workforce, both in workers per shift and total workers per day. This is only the people needed on site to do the work, meaning that if you need a weekend crew or anything like that, you would need to make adjustments on your own outside of the program. But this is the workforce that is needed on site at any one point in time to do the work. Also comes up with a staff size for you. Results for everything, for supplies, hourly labor, salaried labor, equipment operating costs are listed over here. These are listed in terms of dollars per ton ore, dollars per day, or dollars per year. They'll be broken out on an annual basis. We only have one production segment listed in this example. If you had different production segments, of course, these costs would vary. Equipment requirements are listed here. This is the initial purchase fleet, number of machines. Capital costs of those machines are listed here. Development capital costs are broken out on this screen. Pre-production, stripping, haul roads, buildings, etc. in the year incurred. So maybe year 2, there should be some more costs there. Pre-production stripping costs are also broken down in terms of labor, fuel, electricity, etc. And finally, there's a project cost summary that we've seen already. The replacement cost in there now. You can print to both a printer. There's several different project report formats available here for different parts of different aspects of your project. So you can either print directly to a printer and use all the fonts and everything available within your machine, or you can print to a file that you can then export directly into a spreadsheet, which of course is an option most of our users utilize. It's a common eliminated file, which you can import directly. And then you can, of course, save projects using fairly standard Windows-based file saving options. And that's pretty much how Sherpa for Surface works.